Lou Pinella's Reds are in Atlanta on Tuesday night to open up a series against the Braves. And in the top of the first, a close call for the Reds. Eric Davis gets hit in the head with this Charlie Leibrandt pitch, but Davis nods to Leibrandt that he's okay. In the top of the second, the Reds would take a 1-0 lead. Mariano Duncan takes Leibrandt deep for his third home run of the year. This is solo blast, so the Reds take a 1-0 lead again in the top of the second. The Reds would get a solid pitching performance from starter Jack Armstrong. Armstrong would retire the first 13 Braves. Here he strikes out Lonnie Smith in the bottom of the second. As in all, he'd work 7 innings, allowing just 4 hits and 2 runs while striking out 4. A hot evening in Georgia on this Tuesday night. In the top of the fourth, Charlie Leibrandt would get some defensive support from first baseman Mike Bell, who goes over on this Joe Oliver foul pop and makes a nice play, and then wraps himself around the railing by the Braves dugout. In the bottom of the fifth, the score now 2-0 Reds, but Ron Gant would end the no-hitter in perfect game, as well as the shutout with his solo home run, his 14th of the year. Gant now with 38 RBI, and the Braves cut the Reds' lead to 2-1. But in the top of the seventh, the Reds would break this one open. Hal Morris would double over the head of right fielder Otis Nixon, and this would score Joe Oliver to make it 3-1. Barry Larkin also tries to come around to score, but the relay throw would nail Larkin in a vicious collision at the plate. Great play by catcher Mike Heath, but he suffers a cut on his forehead as he makes the catch on Larkin. But Larkin's elbow catches Heath in the forehead, and he would have to leave the game in the top of the seventh with the Reds leading 3-1. Still in the top of the seventh, the Reds would put this one out of reach. Chris Sabo hits a 3-run home run, his 12th of the year. This makes it 6-1, and the Reds would hold on to a 6-3 victory, withstanding late solo home runs from Mike Bell and Terry Pendleton. Armstrong the winner, 6-6. Leibrandt the loser is 7-6.
Top of the second inning, with the Astros leading 1-0. Steve Finley lines a single to right field. It scores Eric Anthony and Eric Yelding, and it gave the Astros a 3-0 lead. The Astros scored one more run in the top of the second inning and led 4-0. We move now to the bottom of the fifth inning. A funny play. Starting pitcher Mark Portugal throws the pitch, then falls off the mound. We move now to the bottom of the sixth inning and some great defense from Casey Candell, the second baseman for the Astros. With Mike Felder at the plate for the Giants, Felder hits a ball up the middle. Candell makes a nice backhand stop, then makes the tough throw to get Felder at first. Then later in the bottom of the sixth inning is Will Clark time. He will belt a solo home run to right center field, his 13th home run of the year. RBI number 57 for Clark, and this made the score 4-1 Houston. But then later in the bottom of the sixth inning, more great defense from the Astros. Kevin Mitchell at the plate for the Giants. He hits a ball to right center field, and Steve Finley makes the great diving catch. We'll take another look at this great play by Steve Finley, the center fielder for the Astros. What a catch by Finley. Moving out of the top of the seventh inning, the Astros get some insurance runs. Jeff Bagwell at the plate for the Astros, and he will belt a 2-run home run to left field. Home run number 8 for Bagwell, RBIs number 32 and 33, and the Astros led 6-1. Moving out of the top of the eighth inning with the Astros leading 8-2, some good defense by the Giants. Ken Caminiti hits a ball to deep right field with 2 men on base, and Mike Kingery makes a great leaping catch. Kingery may have taken away a 3-run home run from Ken Caminiti. Here's another look at this great play by Mike Kingery. The Astros, however, would hold on to defeat the San Francisco Giants 8-4.
Top of the first, Travis Fryman would stake the Tigers to a 1-0 lead as he doubles into the left center field gap. This would score Tony Phillips, and Detroit up 1-0. Cecil Fielder would add an RBI single in the first as the Tigers would lead Johnny Oates and the Orioles by the count of 2-0. Then on the top of the second, it would be Phillips as he doubles right into the left center field gap. And this would score Milt Kyler and Detroit up by a 3-0 count. In the bottom of the second, the Orioles would threaten, but a great play turned in by left fielder John Shelby as he robs Randy Milligan of a home run, the former Oriole, going over the fence, and he makes a great catch, and that one worth one more look John Shelby robbing Randy Milligan of a home run. With the 4th of July just around the corner, this fan gets into the spirit of things. Orioles pitcher Jeff Ballard bugged by a few things, but not the defensive support that he would get in the top of the 5th. Travis Fryman robbed by Leo Gomez, who makes a diving stop and then throws out Fryman at first base. Still in the top of the 5th, it would be Fielder hitting his 19th home run, this to dead center field. As Fielder unloads against Ballard for the solo blast, and Detroit takes a 4-0 lead. But in the bottom half of the 5th, the Orioles would rally. First with Joe Orsulik at the plate. They'd get a break as Travis Fryman would drop this fly ball. Orsulik would come around to score on a ground out to make it 4-1. Then Mike Devereaux would deliver this RBI single to score Bob Melvin. That makes it 4-2. Later on in the game, the Orioles add a run to make it 4-3. And then in the bottom of the 9th, Mike Henneman on with a tying run on third and the winning run on second. He would get Tim Hewlett to pop out to end this one. Detroit wins by the final of 4-3. Bill Gullickson the winner 10-4. Ballard the loser 4-9. Henneman gets his 12th save.
Yankees hosting the Cleveland Indians in Tuesday night action. We start in the top of the 1st inning with the Yankees leading 1-0. Brooke Jacoby hits a double to the left field wall. It scores Reggie Jefferson from second base. RBI number 20 for Jacoby, and this tied the score 1-1. Then later in the top of the 2nd inning, a strange play with the bases loaded and 1 out. Felix Fermin hits a ball back at Wade Taylor, who gets the force at home, but Matt Noakes' throw hits Felix Fermin. The ball gets away from Don Mattingly, and Brooke Jacoby scores from second, and that gave Cleveland a 2-1 lead. An error on Matt Noakes on the play. Then in the bottom of the 4th inning, Mel Hall rolls into Felix Fermin, breaking up the double play. Fermin was shaken up on the play, but he would stay in the game. Then the next batter up in the bottom of the 4th inning, Matt Noakes, would line a 2-out single to right field. It scores Don Mattingly and Jesse Barfield all the way from first base. Here's Fermin's throw, and Barfield is safe at home. This gave the Yankees a 3-2 lead. We'll take another look at the play at the plate. As you can see, Jesse Barfield decides not to slide, and he is safe, and the Yankees led 3-2. Moving now to the top of the 5th inning, we take a look at the feet of Wade Taylor, the starting pitcher for the Yankees. It was raining during parts of this game, and here's the result. Taylor slips and falls while trying to make a pitch. So he walks around and then gets the mud out of his cleats. Moving now to the bottom of the 5th inning, the Yankees score 3 more runs. Here, Don Mattingly at the plate, and he will line a double to the right field corner. It scores Roberto Kelly from second base, RBI number 33 for Mattingly, and this gave the Yankees a 4-2 lead. Then later in the bottom of the 5th inning, with the bases loaded, Jesse Barfield loops a single to short left field. Chris James has trouble with it for the Indians. This scores Don Mattingly from third base, RBI number 47 for Barfield, and the Yankees led 5-2. The Yankees led 6-2 after 5 innings. Then in the top of the 6th inning, Carlos Baerga belts a solo home run to the upper deck in right field. Home run number 9 for Baerga, RBI number 31, and the score is 6-3 New York. Then in the bottom of the 7th inning, Jesse Barfield would hit a home run, a solo shot to left field. Home run number 17 for Barfield, RBI number 48, and this made the score 7-3. The Yankees hold on to defeat the Indians 8-5.
Olympic Stadium, the architects, including those who created that Kevlar roof that is torn again before Tuesday's Met game in Montreal. Howard Johnson batting in the 4th inning of a scoreless game against Oil Can Boyd, and Dennis, well, gives up a gopher ball here because this is a home run for Hojo, his league-leading 58th RBI and league-leading 18th homer of the year. New York leads at 1-0, while UB, well, he's playing with the man who, I guess, owns the van. Tim Wallach bats against David Cohn, the starter for New York. A 1-0 New York lead in the bottom of the 6th inning is changed into a 1-1 tie. Tim Wallach crashes his 9th home of the year and 37th RBI. It's 1-1 through 7 now. And it's on to the late innings. Bottom 8 tie score, Alejandro Pena now pitching in relief, and he gets Tim Wallach with runners on 3rd and 1st to bounce into a 5-4-3. DP go to the 9th, tied at 1. From there, the Mets are happy because they got out of that jam. They go to the top of the 9th inning, where they have something going. Dave Magadan at the plate against Scott Ruskin now in relief. New York has runners on 2nd and 1st, and 2 are away. Dave Magadan hits a RBI single into center field. Kevin Elster scores the go-ahead run. New York leads it 2-1. The play at the plate, and Howard Johnson is out trying to score from first base. So New York takes a 2-1 lead into the bottom of the ninth inning. That's where John Franco comes in with runners on third and first, 2 out. He strikes out Junior Noboa to end it, although Rick Cerrone does have to throw to first to end it. New York wins 2-1. Franco 17th save. Alejandro Pena 5-0. Barry Jones 3-6. Montreal loses their 9th straight. Buhner ready to face off with the Chicago White Sox at the Seattle Kingdom on Tuesday evening. Tim Raines is ready to face off because in the top of the first inning, Raines hits a home run. This goes out in a second. 1-0 Sox on the Soul Blast. These congrats have to go. Raines' third home of the year. They add another 2-0 Sox after 1. Bottom 2, Omar Vizquel against Alex Fernandez gets a base hit to right field. Scores Dave Cochran. A Seattle sac fly ties up the game at 2-all, and that's where we are in the middle innings. Top 6, and Eric Hansen, starter for Seattle, pitching well here. He strikes out Lance Johnson to end the inning, and he would give up 2 runs into the 8th inning, Hansen would, before being relieved. On to the bottom of the 6th, where Jay Buhner is at the plate against starter Alex Fernandez. And Buhner breaks the 2-all tie with a solo home run the opposite way, over the wall in right field for his 10th homer of the year. Solo round tripper put Seattle in front, and there were fireworks indoors just before July 4th at Seattle. Then in the bottom half of the 7th inning, Harold Reynolds gets an RBI single as Omar Vizquel scores. Ken Griffey Jr. is out at the plate, so it's 4-2 Seattle after 7. A move Jim Lefevre probably regrets. Eric Hansen is pulled in the 8th in favor of Russ Swan with 1 man on, 1 out in the 8th. That's Carlton Fisk hitting a pinch hit 2-run home run, his 7th homer of the year. That ties up the score at 4, now in the bottom of the 8th. Fisk is a happy dude. Ozzie Guillen delivering a double down the left field line. It plates Craig Graybeck with the go-ahead run. Chicago leads it 5-4 in the 9th.